So, there is no meditator, no meditation, and no guru yoga, no mantra recitation, and no striving. That's what the all-creating sovereign text says. And it took me years of meditation to understand I've been defeating myself with this spiritual goal, that spiritual goal, more to come, less to be had. Everything is oneness, equal. Everything is Mother Buddha. Why is this Mother Buddha there? That is the secret. She's not. It is illusory. It is void. There is the appearance of things to the fettered mind, the manas that keeps selecting things again and again and again, discursive thought, conceptual fabrication. This comes after so many lives, illusory lives, where we self-grasp and take things being real. Reality is real to the fettered mind, but to a Buddha like myself, I've seen that the clouds pass in the sky. The sky is just illumined, like the mind. The mind is illumined. It is always on. There really is no negative state which can't be surpassed, or positive state that can't be surpassed in bliss. Bliss is the true nature of our minds when it is at peace and has realized its own voidness. I think that's what changed for me in Bodh Gaya after retreating for 7 days. My mind had realized its own insubstantiality, its non-separation from reality. We see things as being out there or far away or near, and we want them or we don't want them. And this is a huge problem to the fact they just are. They just are. I don't think very well anymore. I'm often attacked by the Dalai Lama for saying he's a Mara, and the Vatican for saying that Jesus is a false Messiah. I don't really care for what I say. I think Nisargadatta Maharaj taught me these things will disappear in time. My teachings will disappear in time. Mother's teachings will come and go. She is forever. I apologize if I cause offense. I love you all. I really don't mean to cause offense to anybody. I'm just telling you what I found. I could be wrong. I have to quite often make corrections. Conceptual thought, round and round and round. After 15 years of meditating, I can say that habitual thought is what remains for me as an enlightened being. There is no need to recognize more. You can always meditate on more emptiness, but what does it get you? There is only so much striving that you can do before you self-defeat. I have reached a stage where I no longer wish to meditate on this, that and the other. I just wish to be. Eckhart Tolle calls it presence. Muji calls it being. I would say shunyata is a better word for what I have experienced. There is no residing being, I have said in the past. Now I'm not so sure. I would like to ask you, what do you think? I don't get my comments. I don't know why that is. The tech companies don't seem to want to put my stuff on the internet correctly. I don't get paid if I get views on YouTube, and yet I have millions of hits on Spotify, millions of hits for my playlist, and the only place you can get my playlist is on Twitter. I don't post music on YouTube, on Spotify or anything like that. So let's get back to the Dharma anyway. I just went to moan a little bit. We don't be a moan. But there is no eye, no ear, no tongue. Then what actually is there? I have shown you miracles before about mind residing in all places in the past, right back to Samantabhadra and Samantabhadri. I've gone before them, and there is just cycles of time, the Kala Chakra at the heart of Samantabhadra and Samantabhadri. Now, we don't necessarily see our hearts with our ajna at the moment. It's become very degenerate to attack the ajna, and so that we don't see a third eye. But if you pray to Dorje Shugden, I must say one of the most essential practices of any spiritual practitioner is to have a Dharmapala. That goes right before Christianity and before Islam. It goes right back to the dawn of Buddhism to have a Dharmapala. Lord Setrap, these beings, Pauden Lamo, they were around thousands of years ago. And this practice of Dorje Shugden, I want the debate finished. I know the Dalai Lama has now spoken out and said that he was mistaken, but it isn't. Dorje Shugden is a fully enlightened world peace protector. He is a wisdom being. He is a fully enlightened Dharmapala, just like Mahakala. These are things that I can say from experience. You just have to practice him for a while. It works. Even better than Uriel. I mean, Uriel would agree. Uriel is excellent, simply brilliant for the Christians. But Uriel doesn't hold a candle to Dorje Shugden in terms of efficacy. You just have to experience it. And I tried without Dorje Shugden for 6 years, following the Dalai Lama religiously, and it didn't work. I just got the shit kicked out of me, and so badly abused. You wouldn't believe how badly abused I was by the Dalai Lama and the CIA. David Icke has found the same thing. They beat the crap out of you. But this is the thing. I know there is bliss. This bliss is non-dual, and it comes without any. It's not like an ecstasy tablet or something like that where there's a massive come down or anything like that. It comes from the heart, and it wells up from here, the solar plexus, and it's just beautiful. Why do I teach this if I know it's going to be such a hard road? Because the liberation is the meaning of life. Before, people who follow me would say he doesn't teach there's a meaning, because there's no beginning to this. So there's just voidness. But now I'm not so sure. I've had a massive awakening over the last week, whereby Mother has revealed to me, Mother Buddha, Samantabhadri, has revealed to me that she is residing. Now, Stephen Fry, who I absolutely adore, I think he's a great character and a great thinker. He says, why do insects bore out of our eyes? For the fettered mind, we have the affliction of karma. I've had things done to me that are terrible. I won't go into them, but they're absolutely terrible. And yet, I still love these people. I love them. And that's what the meaning, I got that from Jesus's, forgive them for they know not what they do. It is just the afflicted mind which goes around causing suffering and pain. I am reaping 3 lives. One as a secret agent, where I kick the shit out of thousands of Buddhas. And I'm reaping the life of a doctor that used to prescribe things for money. And also as a protector that used to cause suffering on people to make them stop hurting my guru. So that's something that I can thoroughly recommend, is meditating on karma again and again and again. It is the Avalokiteshvara. It is the Vajrasattva, is a better way of saying it. It is the Vajrasattva, is the karmic imprints that arise. They are actually pure. This is something that's quite difficult to ascertain. If I'd have told myself this when I was going through my worst suffering, which it's been pretty bad recently, but years ago was absolutely awful, I would have to say, no, they're not. I am suffering. And yourself clings and clings and clings, but the self is purity. The self is purity. It's difficult to ascertain what the Buddha knew at the age of 46, because what he taught from the age of his early 40s to his 70s wasn't the same thing. There is a linear time passage where the fettered mind, if worked again and again and again, seems to purify. But it was pure from the initial thought. It is where we self-cling again and again and again through life after life after life that we accumulate karma. We cause suffering and we accumulate karma, or we bring joy and peace and prosperity, and we accumulate positive karma. It's a wonderful thing. I can honestly say this from the bottom of my heart, to be able to look with my unfettered mind and see, okay, it's this life and it's that life that why I'm suffering. I would say to Stephen Fry, it's not that there is a God. I don't believe in God. I'm sorry, but I don't believe in God. I believe in Buddhas. I believe in being. This idea that there is a creator God, there is Narayana, but he is a God. He is a God. Even if Narayana is fully enlightened, they are gods. They are gods. And there is a distinct difference between Mother Buddha, Samanta Bhadri, and the idea of God. One, they are void. There is reality, and the basis of this reality is void. I'm stuck between, does it exist from its own side or doesn't exist from its own side? This has been very, very confusing to me. I'm between a rock and a hard place. I no longer want to practice Vajrayogini because they say it's emptiness, and that when this emptiness is realized, the mere appearance of things ceases. I don't believe that. There is mind. There is mind from Samanta Bhadri and Samanta Bhadra right the way through to, this is just a beginning. There has to have the appearance of a beginning so it can be free of it. This is Simile Tetradharma, which is what Nagarjuna taught. Not all of it, but it's Tetra Yuga for Simile, which is some of the purest Dharma you can get. That there are things that are paired, so there is negativity and positivity on the opposite side, like a banknote has to have a reverse. But the actual truth of it is, it's all congruent. It's all congruent. Bit of a spout there. Yeah. So that's why I teach this teaching, is because I have faith that it is the right thing to do to make people blissful and happy. This idea of you have to surrender to God, I don't surrender to any God. I don't surrender to any God because I've tried it for years and years and years, and I was fucking miserable. Now I just think, okay, if I'm miserable, I'm miserable. If I'm happy, I'm happy. This idea you have to give service, and it's for other people. It's not for me. I'm just a human being. I've said before, I am a living God. Well, that's sort of true because I'm immortal. I am immortal. But this is our birthright for a human being, and for an animal, and for a hell being, and for a preter, and for gods. It is your birthright. But let me tell you, the reason why I don't believe in God anymore is because there is no initial cause. We have this round of the universe, and the fettered mind says it's the Big Bang Theory, and this, that, and the other. Well, this universe will come to an end. Everything is impermanent. We grasp at permanence. So we say this self-grasping mind and self that has the appearance of reality when there's just mother. There's just mother.